Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. I hope you're having a great day. I'm taking another look here at Dogecoin, see what's going on. I've already got some stuff pulled up on the chart here just to kind of give you quick and easy reference, mainly because we already opened a short position with this coin here. Feels definitely like the price is going to pull back. I'll explain why. Again, when I talk about why a coin's going to drop, you got to recognize every time I analyze, I'm looking for reasons not to take a trade. I'm not convincing myself to take a trade. But you'll see here as a result of this analysis that there's a lot of reasons why that should occur. Keep in mind Bitcoin trying to do its last-ditch effort here in its symmetrical triangle, trying to recover here, but it does look like Bitcoin is ready to drop here soon. So keep that in mind. Also, what we want to identify too is how poorly this coin and other altcoins, for example, are paired with Bitcoin. Those are the ones you want to try to consider shorting, because once more, Bitcoin dominance is on the rise. We can see this, the cracks here, so to speak, where a lot of altcoins are about ready to drop. So just be mindful of that, heads up on that. We're going to take a look at liquidation first, and I just want to say thank you so much for being an awesome part of my life. Don't forget to hit the like button, of course, below every single video. Really helps grow the channel. Deeply appreciate that. Let's take a look at the liquidation. We can see here 13.5 down as low as 13 cents even. Heavy concentration liquidation. I haven't counted that up yet, but it's probably somewhere in the range of 2 to 3, 2 to 4 billion in liquidation. Might be a little easier to count here. If we take a look at the macro, this is a 30-day look back on the right. We can see roughly about $1 billion at that 13.2 to 13.1 range. But a lot of liquidation here still left to the downside. Not much upwards of 15 cents. There is some late shorts, of course, which are all good. You know, we're a late short too, or I am. And essentially, it's one of those situations where it's all good because we're so far away from that. The likelihood of that level getting swept is pretty low. Let's take a look here at the delta. Delta is fairly high, but it's tapering off, which is good. This implies that there's too many longs in the market, folks. I can tell you what, when you see a delta that's this high for this long, in other words, last 5 days, all we've seen is people adding to their position in longs. This isn't only longs. Keep in mind, there's plenty of shorts in the market. But the truth is we have more people taking longs right now than they did a couple weeks ago, okay? And the reason why that's relevant is because if you have too many people taking longs for too long, then they're eventually going to switch to, flip the switch on you, right? The market makers are going to drive the price in the opposite direction. And what do you know? There's tons of value here left in this coin, down as low as 12, maybe even 11 cents. So anyways, the open interest area here for it is about 12.7. That's just above that 0.618 fib level. So we'll talk about that here in a minute and just recognize that, Dogecoin, it's not looking great, even though we have this small little pump here. Yeah, the price went up by a couple percent when Bitcoin did. But every time Bitcoin pulls back, this coin is doing way worse. All right, so let's just clarify here. So I'll go ahead and remove these arrows here just so you can kind of see what's going on. Again, I'll post our playout chart here on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord here soon. But on the daily time frame, we're still mostly bullish, all right? So you can still, keep in mind, you can still short into an ascending trend. It's just not necessarily recommended based on the overall circumstance, but you want to also understand that there's a lot of smaller time frame divergences that generally will add up in order for that to be a thing. So simply put, what I mean by this here is a simple fact that we're above all moving averages. That's a positive sign. However, we are and have broken down below the ascending trend, which we can identify in small time frames a little easier. We're now back under 70 in the RSI. This is generally construed as a sell signal if you want to secure profits on a long position. So if you got in at 8, 9, 10, 11 cents on Dogecoin, you're still in your position right now, you're doing it wrong. Again, this is more so a swing trader and day trader's perspective. Most of my traders that follow me, they're using leverage too. So again, if you're using leverage and you're just getting eaten up on fees by holding onto this coin for too long, you're going to have problems. Secure profits when you can. That's what this sign is telling us. Keep in mind, money flow index is above that, which is generally a good sign. There's a lot of positivity here on the daily time frame. Okay, so it's not to say this coin cannot still go higher. It just makes perfect sense for it to retest its local high, which is right here at this 0.618 fib level. So my money's on 13 cents as a good round number here for the price to pull back inevitably with Bitcoin. Unless Bitcoin pumps, I think we're in good shape to see Dogecoin increase. And if you haven't watched my video yet already, you'll know that Bitcoin is printing a pretty obvious symmetrical triangle that looks like it's ready to break down. Okay. So again, a lot of reasons why I think Bitcoin should pull back to 66, possibly 64.5. And if that occurs, I think 13 cents is easily an inevitability here for Dogecoin. Take a look at the 4-hour time frame. This is another reason why I feel, again, that we've shifted momentum. Our ascending trend line, we've broken free from it. What we could see as a better case scenario is a retest, a bearish backtest of that ascending trend. It's really common. If that happens, great. We'll get our secondary entry at about 14.3. But the whole point here is we've lost this area here, this 20-day SMA on the 4-hour, that's usually the initial trend setter letting us know that the paradigm has shifted. Now, it doesn't mean the price is just going to drop because of it. It's just a no longer blindly bullish kind of situation. It's basically telling us not to be an idiot and to take a long right now. No offense to anyone taking a long right now. You could have some success. It's just that it doesn't make a ton of sense to take a long just because the price is retesting its low. Generally speaking, when you retest low consistently, it'll continue to break down. Keep in mind, we may even, you could even factor this into becoming, being a bullish trend. Of course, there's a lot of different ways you could draw it out. But if you look here, the 4-hour time frame, the transitionary time frame telling us we lost 50 on the RSI. That's generally a bearish sign. Money flow index trailing behind, stochastic swinging down, MACD diverging. We're now under 0 on the trend strength indicator. A lot of reasons why the price will probably continue to run down. And again, if you look at this pairing, the last 12 to 24 hours, we've seen a pretty significant correction. It's about an 8% correction here. Whereas Bitcoin, what has Bitcoin done? It's done nothing but go sideways, maybe a 2% correction from top to bottom. So a 2% correction from Bitcoin going sideways, and Dogecoin is going down by 8% and essentially losing its low here, essentially retesting its lows. Okay, so again, a lot of things that you can kind of see. And when I take short trades, I don't just take short trades out of nowhere. I look at the combination of how Bitcoin's moving and how this coin is moving, and that helps me make an informed decision. Okay, we've lost our rising wedge pattern here, of course, as I've already kind of identified or initially opened up with that. This is generally a bearish sign when you break free from it. Granted, rising wedge patterns have a lower success rate. They're probably one of the lowest success rate traded patterns. There's other contributing factors here. If we take a look at the Ichimoku cloud on the hourly, we've broken below the cloud officially for the first time in, how long has it been? We haven't been below the cloud since October 10th. So we've been basically trending upwards for 12 days. And now that we've broken below the cloud, we can presume it's going to be a resistance. So that will be a resistance there, 14.3. Okay, so a lot of reasons why we're in a situation right now where it makes much more sense to consider a short and to not take a long. At the very least, don't take a long just because it's a dip that you're trying to buy. And what I'm saying by that too isn't necessarily adding to your spot bag. That's a different story altogether. You can dollar cost average however you want because you're not going to get eaten up on fees. You're not going to have any kind of issues. But if this is a leveraged trade, you're going to sit here and hold a 13 cents, 13.8 cent long. You're going to have some trouble in the long run. Mostly because of what I discussed with you, but also even if the price goes up, you hold for too long, you're going to break even at best because you're holding too high of a leverage trade for too long, and fees are just terrible with those. Okay, so just heads up here, be careful trading leverage. Make sure you know what direction it's going to go and what you're planning to do with it, because just blindly taking a long or a short doesn't make a ton of sense. But everything we've seen here so far, I would say minus the macro look, still looking decent. Again, it lost its ascending trend. We are absolutely breaking bearish. The combination of Dogecoin to Bitcoin right now and how poorly it's doing is very, very bad. I don't like it. So it's just my thoughts. Love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to comment below. At the very least, like the video if you get a chance, you found some benefit here. And I hope you did, and hope to see you around. Thanks again so much for your time. Oh, very last thing too, of course, in my Dogecoin community. We do have an exclusive deposit bonus with Bitunix, link down below. Use that link to register. You get some awesome rewards for no KYC or VPN exchange. Our community's been using them for over a year, and they've been phenomenal to us. So just want to pass that on for you if you want. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.